What is your last name?
Colon.
Colon.
Mm-hmm.
Los padres se vinieron para acá, se casaron, tuvieron ¿cuántos hijos?
3 hijos y una niña.
3 varones y una niña. Spoiled to death. Okay.
What year did you come to this country?
1964.
1964. What country did you come from?
Honduras.
And where in Honduras did you?
La Ceiba.
La Ceiba. What brought you to this country?
Just a good heart of some couple that I've worked with in Tegucigalpa. So they decided to bring me, they struggled to bring me because I didn't want to leave Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
But I came anyway. After 5 months, I left. And I stayed in Honduras about 6 months, and I come back, and I left again. I was on and off because I wasn't happy here. I wasn't happy. I was in Texas. So I was happier in La Ceiba than I was in Texas.
What part of Texas were you in?
Fort Worth.
Okay. What did you do in Texas for work and to live?
I was a housekeeper.
Okay. And what brought you from Texas to New York?
Because after I was going back and forth, I changed bosses. I went to work with the Pharisees. They were very millionaires in Fort Worth, Texas.
Wow.
And then on a vacation, I came to New York, and I liked the environment, and I stayed.
Did you, when you came to New York, did you come here to Brooklyn, or were you in another part of New York?
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx?
I was in the Bronx.
Do you remember what part of the Bronx?
Yes, Longfellow.
Okay. When you arrived here in the Bronx, did you find or come across other Garifuna people?
Yes. 1821, it was the house of Garifuna. There was a lot of Garinago in that building. So I was comfortable there.
From Honduras?
No, from Houston.
Okay.
Because I went to Houston after Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, okay. Did you find a lot of Garifuna in Houston también?
No.
No?
Oh, just one family.
Okay. And were they from Honduras or
yes,
from
Honduras?
Okay. What else did you wind up doing here for work when you were here in New York?
In New York, I worked in all trades.
Okay.
First, I went to work with the Franciscan Fathers. I was the cook. And then after that, I worked in a dry cleaner. I worked taking care of children at night. I did everything until I worked with Franciscan Fathers on Dean Street. So one day after 2 years, the father told me, "Come on, Nicha, you can do better than this. Here's a recommendation letter, go find another job." He told me, and I did, and I found another job as a secretary with the World Book Encyclopedia.
Wow.
I worked with them for 5 years until they meshed with another branch. So they gave me a severance pay. And I loved it. 6 months without work. Yes, with a lot of money. They gave me a lot of money because I had money taken out from my pay, plus my severance. I had plenty of money. Then I got tired of sitting around. I went looking for another job, but I couldn't give me another job because I didn't have a GED. So I went in my parish. They were giving GED classes. So I went, I took it. I went to take the test. I failed it the first time. I needed the 122.25, and I had 122 because I decided I wanted to go to college then. And failed it the first time. And then I went back. In the meantime, that I was waiting for the second test, I was hired at Medgar Evers College in the Department of Education because the director and the sub-director was going on vacation. So they put me there, yes, to the hell with you. What do you know? So they just put me there just for the hell of it. And because then they came up that they needed somebody to go to the, what do you call it? To change the lingo of the bilingual education.
Okay.
And then when I stated there my name, what is your name? My name is Dionisia Amaya. How do we call you, Dionisia? No. My name is Dionisia, with short eyes. So he said, okay, Dionisia, can we call you anything else? No. Dionisia is my name. Mm-hmm. So why should you call me something else? And so I attended 3 days to those meetings. I wrote to Washington to explain what I found out and what I read, and looking in the drawers in the bilingual center, there was a $90,000 for students in bilingual classes. So when they came back, I told them about it. They didn't like me for that. So they made it hard for me on Medgar Evers.
Okay.
Very hard. Very hard. So I wrote to my councilman on Utica Avenue. So he wrote them a letter. He wrote me a letter telling that they're not supposed to respect women's my age trying to get an education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was about 50 or 48, 47. I was 47 years old.
Okay.
So they should have respect for me, for a woman this age trying to be educated. So they didn't bother me after that. They respected me for that. And I did my own classes. So when I presented my classes to the council, he says, who gave you these classes? I did. You think you're going to be able to do it? Sure, why not? Because I put classes that were supposed to be for someone who has already, not a freshman then,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to be a freshman. And then I took the English class, which is not for a freshman. And I was on a dean list every semester.
Wow.
Every semester. And I had magnificent professors. I have Dr. Wakatama, I have Florence Staker, I have Dr. Phoenix, magnificent teachers at Medgar Evers. I couldn't have gotten them in everywhere else.
Why was education so important to you?
Because education is growth and a change of behavior. That's why education is important. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
And my aim always is my friends and my community to be educated.
I understand you are one of the founders of a Garifuna organization called Mugama here in Brooklyn. What led you to begin or start Mugama?
That's a long story. It was in March one day. March is the Women's International Month. And I was watching a TV and I was looking how everybody was being honored, women being honored all over the world. And I said to myself, we have women that could be honored in my community. So I called 3. One has passed away, Lydia, and Savio,
Mirta Savio.
Mirta Savio, and myself, and I talked to them. I said, why don't we get together and honor our women? And I said, sure. They responded so quickly, so we met on it. So we had the celebration here, and we had women who brought their children here, who strive so hard to have their children here. We had educated women from kindergarten to master's degree. And we have one that was a doctor in education. Her name is Guillermina Blanco. She lives in Boston. We called her and she came. She said, my people to honor me? Sure I come. So she was here. We had, so that was how Mugama started it. So the next day, so we asked ourselves when the party was finished, what now? What now after this? He says, okay, I don't know what now, so let's meet next week. So we met by Christina's house in the basement, and then we met on it. So we decided to make another celebration because we have chosen who to honor. We honor Gloria Whitty for fighting to bring her children to New York. We honor Inés Solano because she was a minister, a career minister.
Mm-hmm.
We honor anybody who had a master's degree. Manuela, Mirta, and I, and Lydia had a master's degree. We had those who had a bachelor's degree. We had those who, a little one who just passed kindergarten, 6th grade. So it was in the chef for the party. It was a young woman who liked to cook, Nancy Solano. Iris, me olvidé de ti. Iris had a bachelor's degree, and it was a lot. Oh, we had Antonieta for artist because she's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And who else we had? Oh, Manuela Savio for artists also. And so it was very good. So we met again after the honoring. So we decided to add something to word mujeres. Next meeting, you bring something to add to the palabra mujeres. So when we met again, the first thing that Lydia Hill said, Mugama. I said, why? Mujeres, Garinagu, en marcha. She was the one, God bless her soul. And she didn't say that, she only said, Mugama. I said, why? Mujeres, Garinagu, en marcha. Pro education. So the women in our community said that Mugama was only for women like us. Who say any woman who wants to grow and flow high like an eagle, she was welcome.
Okay.
They didn't understand that until about 20 years later. That Mugama was not only for teachers and nurses, was for every Garifuna woman who wants to excel. That was it. And I wanted the Garifuna people to be known in New York. They didn't know who the Garifuna people were until Mugama came about. We had 2 young ladies on the carroza on the 12th of October in the march de la Familia Latina.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 girls. I had 2 girls in the West Indies.
Okay.
They had a bad experience because they had a esos que se puntan de negro. Indio bárbaro. They had an Indio bárbaro there, and the girls got so scared. They got really scared when they saw these men who, and all in black and red eyes and all that stuff. They wasn't experienced that before.
Mm-hmm.
So I began to expose my people. Then we met a man through Divina Gaskin, who wrote us some proposals, and Carlota Tifre helped us to get 501. By the way, we just lost it. Okay, and it was difficult because people didn't believe in us.
Mm-hmm.
We had school, we have ESL program. People didn't believe in us. But people missed our yearly dance at Le Cordon Bleu, even though Le Cordon Bleu is closed. But our dancing, people missed those dances now. And then Father Sweeney guided us that center in the middle of Garifuna people right here in Riverdale. And that's how Mugama started.